Hi, Jewish Mom. I started attending a really amazing course on Saturday nights after Shabbat at the community center in my neighborhood. It's a course, a 5-week course given by a woman, a very, very popular parenting teacher named Cherba Vasli. And this specific course, she's teaching about the class is called self-awareness. Okay, so I get there and I thought that there'd just be like a few women there. I get there's like 100 women, no space left in like the little lecture room, and I was just she's a very, very, very. I hadn't realized in the class, but she's a very popular lecturer, and really and then now I understand why. Sitting in the class, you're just like hanging on every word. She's a really fascinating speaker. So last night, she was talking. She started with a story. Okay, so the story is this: before the Shoah, there was a man, a very wealthy man, and he came to a rabbi, and he said to the rabbi, he said, I'm entrusting you with the information about our Swiss bank account. If after the war, I don't know if I'm going to survive. I don't know if anyone in my family is going to survive. I'm leaving it to you to make it your responsibility to find any survivors from my family and provide them with this information to the Swiss bank account with, you know, the equivalent of today's millions and millions of dollars in this bank account. Okay, so after the war, sadly, the person did not survive. The person with the Swiss bank account, the rabbi did survive. He became a rabbi in Belgium. And so over the years following the war, he really took it upon himself. So anytime he would meet anyone from the same area of Eastern Europe as this family, he would ask them whether they had heard anything about survivors from this family. And again and again and again, nobody had any information. And then one day, a man comes in. He meets to speak with the rabbi, and the rabbi says, "Oh, where are you from?" It's from the same town um, as this millionaire who had passed away. And he said, "Have you ever heard of so and so?" He said, "Yes, he was my father." So when the man came in, he was wearing kind of very kind of falling apart clothing, obviously very poor, a really destitute person. And so the rabbi said to him, I have news for you, that as of today, your life is completely changed. I have your family's Swiss bank account information, and you are going to have to go to Switzerland, get this money, and you will be an extremely, extremely wealthy man. So the lecturer asked this question. She said, so tell me, during the years between the war, when the son lost all of his money, and having and actually and getting the money from the Swiss bank account, was he poor or rich? Okay, what do you think? Okay, what do you vote? Poor or rich? Okay, so the question is this. So basically, what she says is, she said this is like a mashal. This is like a metaphor for us. That so many of us, that we don't know that we have this Swiss bank account. What's this Swiss bank account? It's our true deepest, it's the truest, deepest identity, that we, each and every one of us, is a bat melech, that we're a daughter of the king, and that Hashem made us a signed masterpiece by Hashem, right? And that each one of us is chelek eloka mimal. We have within ourselves, we have a soul which is a part of the Lord above. Chelek eloka mimal. So if people ask you, if people say, who are you? People say, oh, I'm a writer, I'm a stay-at-home mother, I'm an investment banker. But really, like, the truest answer for that is that I'm chelek eloka mimal. I'm a part of the Lord above. And if we, and Chedva said, she said her grandmother, people, she would like, she would say, I am Chelek Eloka Mimal. I am Chelek Eloka Mimal. Like she's so deeply connected with her divine source and who she is on the deepest level. So at any given moment, we have that choice. We have the choice of feeling the immense worth that we have based on the fact that we have this divine soul, that we're Chelek Eloka Mimal. The problem is that many of us, we don't connect with this idea of our inherent worth. We feel like each of us, basically, Chedva went on to say, this is, I think, really fascinating and very, very true, that all of us have, almost all of us have, that we wear glasses. That we have glasses, glasses with which we see the world, with which we see ourselves, with which we see the ways in which we will have worth. We don't believe, we can't believe that we have inherent worth, and that we have chelek Eloka Mimal, which gives us this inherent worth. We believe that we have to do something to be worthy. And so this makes us, we tend to be very, very, very worked up and very stressed out about doing the things that we feel that these are the things that give our existence, that justify our existence, that give us worth. For example, there might be a person who says, if I'm not successful, my life isn't, I'm not worth anything. If I'm not smart, I'm worthless. There was an interesting thing at the class last night. A woman got up and she said, I feel like if I'm not wow, then I'm worthless. So she said, like if I can't make like a 3-course meal for every dinner, I just won't do anything, because like why do it? If I'm not wow, I'm a failure. And on so many different areas in her life, like then she always wants to be wow, to impress. So basically, Chedva said, she said that all of us have this. Almost all of us, except for certain, let's say, tzaddikim of the generation, almost every human being has these glasses that tell us that we feel give us. I'm sorry, the glasses through which we see our own worth. But some people, all of us have that. Okay, all of us feel I did an act of chesed, I did like an act of kindness for a person. That makes me feel self-worth. I put up a blog, made this Peptalk that I help people. I have self-worth. I took care of my kids. I'm a mother. I have self-worth. Okay, and that's okay. That's okay. The problem is when people become enslaved to their glasses. People become enslaved to this conditioning of what gives them worth. So, for example, let's say that there's a woman, and she feels like if her husband doesn't appreciate her, she's worthless. If her husband doesn't love her and think she's the greatest, she's worthless. So let's say, okay, then that could be very motivating for her, and that could actually be okay. The problem is when the day when she has the flu, and the next thing that she should be doing, her next step, as Rabbi Niven says, her next step in Avodat Hashem, her next step in serving Hashem, if she has a flu, is actually to go and lie down. It's actually to rest. But because of her glasses, that she feels will be completely worthless if her husband comes home and there's not dinner ready, and there's not, and her house isn't clean, and she hasn't done bath time, etc. Instead of staying in bed, which would be her next step in serving Hashem, she gets up and does all things she has to do because she believes I'm worthless if my husband doesn't think I'm the greatest, right? I'm worthless if my husband doesn't come home and there's a meal and the house is clean, all the kids are bathed and ready for bed. Okay, I find this very powerful. I'm trying to figure out right now what my glasses are, what my glasses are that instead of knowing, I'm very, very, very in touch with this idea of taking my next step in Avodat Hashem, taking my next step, like always thinking, what is my next step in serving Hashem? Is my next step in serving Hashem to take care of my kids, to take care of myself, to take care of my husband, to get dinner ready, to go to the doctor, to sit down and relax with a magazine article, thinking like, what is the most important thing I can do right now to serve Hashem, to be a vital, happy, God-serving Jewish person and mother. This really did resonate with me that I believe that there are some things that might feel like my sense of self-worth. I do not feel this. I don't feel this inherent sense of that I am a chelik elo kamimal, and I feel like I do. I feel like it's very true on me that I have that I'm searching for self-worth through other things, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure how to pinpoint. I think it might be for me. It might be I have a need to be impressive. That I feel like I have to do something impressive, and if I'm not impressing other people, then in the ways in which I think are impressive, then I'm worthless. And so even if it's not the right decision, even if it's not my next step in serving Hashem, I will choose to do the impressive thing because it is impressive and because I don't want to feel worthless. Because it's like my life doesn't have my life isn't worthwhile if I don't have that purpose, if I'm not impressing people. I'm not sure, but I think that's the right direction. Okay, so in conclusion, I shared a story about a person who was a millionaire and didn't know it, and that's how we are also. We are chelik elo kamimal. A part of the Lord above is within each of us. We have this inherent worth. Hashem loves us so much. We have this inherent worth, but yet all of us have these crazy glasses, which we've been conditioned to have these glasses, which make us see that our self-worth doesn't come from our divine soul. Our inherent worth, our self-worth actually comes from all these things that we do. And actually, I'm sorry, another thing I want to say is that Chedva said, she said how important it is to make a complete division between our inherent selves and what we do. Okay? My inherent self is my chelek elokamimal. What I do is secondary. Okay, what I am is I am a divine soul. What I am is a divine soul, so each of us has these glasses, these kind of distorted glasses that make us through which we see ourselves in the world, and we think different people have different glasses, but different things different ways in which we feel like I don't have a self-worth if I'm not physically beautiful. I don't have self-worth if I'm not a successful mother. I don't have self-worth if I'm not wealthy. Whatever it is. One woman gave an example. She said, I'm not a successful person if I'm not wow. If people don't say wow when I do this or that or that. So the problem is when we become enslaved to our glasses, when really our next step in serving Hashem would be something different. But we push ourselves to do the wrong thing, the thing that's not the next step in serving Hashem, because we want to feel that we have self-worth. Got it? Okay. On that note, I want to bless all of you Jewish ones with a wonderful Tu B'Shvat and a wonderful week.